I'm sitting cross-legged on the living room couch, laptop balanced on my thighs, staring at spreadsheet projections for our summer marketing campaign when David walks in. He's got this folder tucked under his arm. Thick, official looking, the kind that screams lawyer's office. His shoes are still on. He never keeps his shoes on in the house. Hey, Sam. His voice has that forced lightness to it, like he's about to ask me to do something he knows I won't want to do. Got a minute? I don't look up from my screen. I'm in the middle of this budget breakdown. Can it wait? Not really. He sits down in the armchair across from me, places the folder on the coffee table between us. It lands with a heavy thump. I need to show you something. Something in his tone makes me close the laptop. I set it aside and lean forward, resting my elbows on my knees. Okay, what's going on? He slides the folder toward me but doesn't open it. Just sits there with his hands clasped together, fingers intertwined, that smile playing at the corners of his mouth. It's not quite pride, not quite excitement. It's something else, something that makes my stomach tighten. I reach for the folder and flip it open. The first thing I see is the letterhead. First National Bank, Commercial Lending Division. Below that, neat rows of legal text, clauses and subclauses, definitions and terms. My eyes scan quickly, picking out key phrases. Loan agreement, principal amount, $4,500,000. Property purchase. Borrower, Emily Carter. Emily, of course it's Emily. I flip to the next page, then the next, moving faster now. My pulse is starting to pick up. That cold prickle spreading across the back of my neck. And then I see it, halfway down page 7 in a section marked Personal Guarantee. Guarantor, Samantha Miller. My name. Right there in black ink, laser printed and official. I read the line 3 times to make sure I'm not hallucinating. Then I look up at David. He's still smiling, but now there's something defensive in his eyes, like he's bracing for impact. What is this? My voice comes out calm, too calm. It's the loan for Emily's house. She finally found the perfect place. That colonial on Maple Ridge, you know the one? 5 bedrooms, 2 acres. It's everything she's been looking for. $4.5 million. It's a great property, really solid investment. $4.5 million, David. He shifts in his chair, uncrosses and recrosses his legs. I know it sounds like a lot, but the appraisal came in even higher. She's getting a good deal, actually, and the bank approved it, so... Why is my name on this contract? The smile falters, just for a second, but I see it. Well, they needed a guarantor. For a loan that size, they always require someone to co-sign, and since you and I have the better credit history and the equity in our house... Did you ask me? Silence. David, did you ask me before you put my name on a $4.5 million loan? He looks down at his hands. I knew you'd say yes. That cold feeling spreads from my neck down into my chest, my arms, my fingertips. I close the folder carefully and set it back on the coffee table. When I speak again, my voice is still even, still controlled. You knew I'd say yes, so you didn't bother asking. Sam, come on. It's not like that. Then what's it like? He stands up now, starts pacing. This is what David does when he's trying to sell me on something. He moves, he gestures. He fills the space with motion and words. Look, I know how it seems, but this is family we're talking about. Emily has been looking for a house for 2 years. 2 years, Sam, and every time she gets close, something falls through. This time she found the one, the perfect place. But the bank wouldn't approve the loan without additional security, and she asked if we could help, and I just thought, you thought you'd forge my signature? I didn't forge anything. The lawyer said that since we're married, my consent implied your consent for marital assets. I stand up too, but I don't pace. I just stand there, very still, looking at him. That's not how consent works, David. That's not how any of this works. He stops moving, faces me directly, and then he does the thing he always does when he knows he's messed up but doesn't want to admit it. He goes soft. His shoulders drop, his voice gets gentle, and he steps closer to me. Samantha. Hey, listen to me. I know this looks bad, but I promise, we're going to pay this off together. It's not all on you. We'll work out a plan with Emily, set up automatic payments, make sure everything's covered. No one gets hurt here. This is just a formality for the bank. That's all it is. I look into his eyes and I see it clearly now. He actually believes what he's saying. He actually thinks a few reassuring words and a promise are going to smooth this over, that I'll nod and smile and say, "Okay, honey, whatever you think is best." He has no idea who he's dealing with. I give him a smile, a cold one, the kind that doesn't reach my eyes. "Okay." His face lights up, relief flooding through him. "Really?" "Okay, thank you, Sam. I knew you'd understand. Emily is going to be so—" I said okay. I didn't say I agreed. The light dims. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I heard you. That's all." I pick up my laptop, tuck it under my arm. "I need to get back to work. This campaign won't plan itself." He watches me head toward the stairs, confusion written all over his face. "That's it? We're done talking about this?" I pause on the bottom step, look back at him over my shoulder. "For now." Then I go upstairs to my office and close the door. I sit at my desk for a long time, just breathing, in and out, slow and controlled. $4.5 million, my name on the contract, without my knowledge, without my consent. I open my laptop and pull up my email, start scrolling back through the past 6 months. There has to be something here, some evidence of communication, some thread of this conversation that I was somehow excluded from. And as I search, my mind drifts back. Not to this moment, but to all the others. All the times Emily has come to us, to me, with her hand out and her expectations high. I remember the trip to Cabo. Emily had just gone through a breakup, needed to get away, needed sunshine and margaritas and someone to vent to. Could I please come with her, just for a week? She'd book the resort, I'd just need to cover my flight and spending money. Except when we got there, she'd forgotten her wallet. And then the resort charged her card incorrectly. And somehow I ended up paying for everything. $3,000 for a trip I didn't even want to take. I remember the designer handbag. She'd seen it in a boutique window, fallen in love with it, absolutely had to have it. But she was between jobs. Money was tight. Could I spot her just this once? She'd pay me back as soon as her unemployment check came through. That was 8 months ago. The bag cost $2,000. I never saw a dime. I remember the kitchen renovation at her apartment. She wanted granite countertops and custom cabinets. But the contractor wouldn't start without a deposit. David had volunteered us to cover it. When I'd asked about repayment, he'd said we should just consider it a gift. A gift. $6,000. And now this. $4.5 million. I find myself gripping the edge of my desk, knuckles white. All those times, I'd told myself it was easier to just go along with it. Easier to keep the peace. Easier than fighting with David about his sister. Easier than being labeled difficult or unsupportive or selfish. But this time, there is no peace to keep. This time, he crossed a line. I spend the rest of that afternoon reading the loan contract, not skimming it, reading it. Every clause, every subclause, every piece of fine print at the bottom of each page. It's worse than I thought. The guarantee is unconditional and irrevocable. If Emily defaults, even once, the bank can come after me immediately for the full amount. Not David, me, because I'm listed as the primary guarantor and David as the co-guarantor. Which means my assets are first in line. My retirement account, my inheritance from my grandmother, the equity in our house that I paid into with my salary from years of working 60-hour weeks, while David was getting his business off the ground. All of it exposed. I think about Emily, about her track record with money, the jobs she's quit because she didn't like her boss's tone, the credit cards she's maxed out, the car she had repossessed because she spent the payment money on a weekend in New York. And I think about David, about how he's never once told his sister no, how he's never set a boundary, never pushed back, never protected our interests over hers. I close the contract and open a new browser tab. Type in Divorce Lawyer Chicago. That evening, David tries to act like everything is normal. He makes dinner, his specialty chicken parmesan, and sets the table with our nice plates. Opens a bottle of wine, asks me about my day. I tell him the marketing plan is coming together nicely. I ask him about his conference call with the investors. We talk about whether we should repaint the guest room, whether we need to replace the furnace before winter. We don't talk about the loan, but I watch him across the table, study his face in the candlelight, the way he chews, the way he nods when I'm speaking, the way he reaches for his wine glass. This man I've lived with for 8 years, this man I thought I knew, he has no idea what's coming. On the next morning, I call 3 law firms. The first one can't see me for 2 weeks. The second one doesn't handle divorces. The third one, Henderson and Associates, can fit me in that afternoon. I tell David I have a doctor's appointment. Judith Henderson is in her 50s, sharp-eyed and efficient. Her office is all glass and steel, impressive without being ostentatious. She listens while I explain the situation, takes notes in neat handwriting on a yellow legal pad. When I finish, she sets down her pen and looks at me directly. Mrs. Miller, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. Did you, at any point, give verbal consent for this guarantee? Did you discuss this loan with your husband before he finalized it? Never. I saw that contract for the first time yesterday. And your signature on the document? Isn't mine. He didn't forge it. The lawyer used some clause about marital assets and implied consent. But I never signed anything. She picks up the contract, flips through it, stops on the signature page, studies it for a long moment. This is problematic. Your husband's lawyer may argue that the marital property laws in Illinois allow for this kind of guarantee without explicit consent. But we can fight it. It'll be messy, and it'll take time, but we can fight it. I want a divorce. She looks up at me. Are you certain? Completely. Because once we file, there's no going back from this quietly. Your husband will know. His sister will know. And given the amount of money involved, they'll fight. I meet her gaze steadily. Let them fight. She nods slowly, a small smile forming. All right then. Let's get started. Over the next 2 weeks, I move like a ghost through my own life. I smile at David over breakfast. I ask Emily how her house closing is going when she calls. I attend a work function and laugh at my boss's jokes. But underneath, I'm building a case. Judith's team helps me gather evidence. Bank statements showing that I paid the majority of our mortgage. Emails proving that I questioned past loans to Emily and was overruled. Text messages where David admitted he didn't want to bother me with family financial decisions because I was too busy with work. Every piece of documentation, every scrap of proof that I was systematically excluded from decisions that put my financial security at risk. We also file a legal challenge to the guarantee, arguing that I never consented and that David's lawyer violated ethical standards by accepting a marital agreement without verifying both parties' consent. And then we wait. The divorce papers arrive at our house on a Tuesday morning. David has already left for work, so I'm the one who answers the door when the process server shows up. I sign for the envelope, thank the young woman, and go back inside. I could call David, warn him, give him a heads up before he opens that envelope at the office and realizes what's happening. Instead, I pour myself a cup of coffee and go back to work on my laptop. He comes home 3 hours early. I hear his car in the driveway, the slam of the door, his footsteps heavy and fast on the front walk. The front door bangs open. Samantha! I close my laptop, stand up, walk calmly to the top of the stairs. He's standing in the foyer, still in his suit, the envelope crumpled in his fist. His face is red, his jaw tight. What the hell is this? I come down the stairs slowly, one step at a time. Exactly what it looks like. You're divorcing me? Over this? Over you putting my name on a $4.5 million loan without my knowledge or consent? Yes. He stares at me like I've grown a second head. Are you insane? This is my sister we're talking about. Family? You're going to blow up our marriage over family? I'm ending our marriage because you betrayed my trust, because you put my entire financial future at risk, because you chose your sister over me. I didn't choose anyone over anyone. Jesus, Sam, I was trying to help her. She needed this house. And I knew you'd be okay with it if I just what? If I just did what I was told? If I just smiled and nodded and played the supportive wife? He throws the envelope on the floor. This is ridiculous. You're being completely irrational. I feel that cold smile forming again. The one that makes people uncomfortable. Am I? Yes, we've been married for 8 years. 8 years, Samantha, and you're throwing it all away because I helped my sister buy a house. Do you know how crazy that sounds? I walk past him into the kitchen, pour myself more coffee. My hands are steady. Tell me something, David. How much have we given Emily in the past 3 years? He follows me, hovering in the doorway. I don't know. What does that have to do with anything? Humor me. He crosses his arms. I don't keep track. It's not like we're keeping score. $37,000. I turn to face him. I do keep track. $37,000 in gifts, loans that were never repaid, bills we covered, trips we funded, and now you want me to co-sign on $4.5 million more. Those were small things. This is different. You're right. It is different. Because this time, when Emily defaults, and she will default, David, we both know she will, the bank will come after me. Not you. Me, my retirement, my inheritance, everything I've worked for, gone. Because you decided I didn't need to be consulted. His face changes. The anger fades into something else. Something that might be fear. The challenge to the guarantee. That was you. Of course it was me. Emily's closing got delayed. The bank is now requiring additional verification. Her lawyer is furious. Good. Good? His voice rises. Good? Sam, if that loan falls through, Emily loses her deposit. She loses the house. Everything she's been working toward. I take a sip of coffee. It's gone cold, but I drink it anyway. That's not my problem. Not your... He stops, runs his hands through his hair. When he speaks again, his voice is different, pleading. Samantha, please, don't do this. We can fix this. I'll talk to the lawyer. We'll restructure the guarantee, put more of it on me. We'll set up a payment plan with Emily, make sure she's accountable. Whatever you want, just don't blow up our marriage over this. It's already blown up, David. You blew it up the moment you put my name on that contract without asking me. I made a mistake. I admit it. I should have talked to you first, but we can fix it. We can fix us. I set down my coffee cup and look at him. Really look at him. At this man who promised to be my partner, my equal, my teammate, who instead treated me like a resource to be managed, an obstacle to be worked around. No, I say quietly. We can't. The next few weeks are a blur of legal proceedings, mediation sessions, and paperwork. David tries everything: apologies, promises, anger, guilt trips. Emily calls me, leaves voicemails that range from pleading to accusatory. His mother sends me a long email about family loyalty and forgiveness. I ignore all of it. Judith moves fast. We file for immediate separation of assets, citing financial misconduct. We present evidence of David's pattern of prioritizing his sister's wants over our financial stability. We demonstrate that I was systematically excluded from major financial decisions. The judge is a woman in her 60s with gray hair and no patience for nonsense. She reviews the evidence, asks pointed questions, and then makes her ruling. The guarantee is invalidated on grounds of lack of consent. The bank must remove my name from the loan documents. If David and Emily want to proceed with the loan, they must find another guarantor or put up additional collateral. David goes pale when he hears the verdict. Emily, sitting behind him in the courtroom, starts crying. I feel nothing. The divorce proceeds quickly after that. David doesn't fight it anymore. He's too busy trying to figure out how to salvage Emily's house deal. We split our assets according to contribution. I get the retirement accounts, the inheritance, and 60% of the house equity. David gets the rest, along with full responsibility for any debts he incurred without my knowledge. It's fair, more than fair, but what I didn't expect is what comes next. 6 weeks after the divorce is finalized, I'm sitting in my new apartment, a clean, modern space in a high-rise downtown, when my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Hello? Mrs. Miller, this is James Chen from First National Bank. I'm calling about the loan application for Emily Carter. My stomach tightens. I'm not involved in that loan anymore. I know, that's actually why I'm calling. Ms. Carter's application has been denied. I sit up straighter. Denied? Yes. After the guarantee was invalidated, Ms. Carter and Mr. Miller attempted to secure alternative forms of collateral, but they were unable to meet the bank's requirements. Additionally, during our review process, some concerns were raised about Ms. Carter's credit history and employment stability. The loan committee decided the risk was too high. I don't know what to say. I just sit there, phone pressed to my ear. I wanted to inform you directly, Mr. Chen continues, because your legal action against the guarantee actually flagged some issues in our own loan processing that we're now reviewing internally. Your attorney's documentation was very thorough. So, thank you, I suppose. You may have saved us from approving a high-risk loan that could have defaulted. After we hang up, I sit in my quiet apartment and start laughing. Not bitter laughter, not angry, just laughing. Because it turns out my gut instinct was right. Emily would have defaulted. The bank itself admitted she was too high risk. And if I hadn't fought back, if I just smiled and nodded and played along, I'd be on the hook for $4.5 million right now. 2 days later, David calls. I consider not answering, but curiosity wins out. Hey, his voice sounds tired, defeated. Can we talk? We don't have anything to talk about. Please, just 5 minutes. I sigh. Fine. 5 minutes? There's a long pause. The loan fell through. Emily lost the house. I heard. She's devastated and angry, very angry. At me, mostly. She says I promised her I could make this work, and I failed her. I say nothing. My mom isn't speaking to me, Emily isn't speaking to me, and you... He trails off. You were right about all of it. About Emily's track record with money, about me not protecting you, about everything. Okay. Is that all you have to say? Okay? I look out my apartment window at the city lights spreading out below me. What do you want me to say, David? That I forgive you? That we can be friends? I don't know. Maybe just acknowledgement that this wasn't easy for me either. You're right. I'm sure it wasn't easy watching your sister lose her dream house. I'm sure it wasn't easy being cut off by your family. But you know what else isn't easy? Finding out your husband used you as collateral without your knowledge. Spending weeks gathering evidence to prove you didn't consent. Starting your life over at 34 because the person you trusted most in the world betrayed you. Silence on the other end. Your 5 minutes are up, I say, and hang up. 3 months later, I'm on a plane. Business class, window seat, heading to Los Angeles for a conference. I've been promoted at work. The summer marketing campaign I was working on the day David showed me that contract, it was a massive success. My boss promoted me to VP of marketing, gave me a team of 15 people, and doubled my salary. I have my own apartment that I furnished exactly how I want it. I have a therapist who helps me process everything that happened. I have friends who supported me through the divorce without judgment or pressure to reconcile. I have my life back. As the plane lifts off, I look out at the city shrinking below me, the buildings and streets becoming tiny, abstract, insignificant. I think about that moment in the living room when I first saw my name on that contract. The shock, the betrayal, the ice-cold realization that the person I trusted most had treated me like an asset to be leveraged rather than a partner to be respected. I could have ignored it. I could have told myself it would be fine, that David's promises meant something, that keeping the peace was worth the risk. But I didn't. I chose myself, my safety, my future, my autonomy. And yes, it was hard. Yes, it cost me things. A marriage, a comfortable illusion of partnership, the approval of people who thought I should have been more forgiving. But what I gained was everything. I don't need someone else to validate my worth. I don't need a relationship to define my identity. I don't need to make myself small to keep others comfortable. I am my own fortress, my own lighthouse. And this is just the beginning. The plane breaks through the clouds and suddenly we're above them, surrounded by endless blue sky and brilliant sunlight. The turbulence of takeoff is behind us, smooth air ahead. I close my eyes and smile, a real smile this time, one that reaches all the way through me. The next chapter of my life has begun, and I'm the one writing it. Thank you, my loves, for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the newest videos.